Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're here. Good to see everyone, too, basically. I'm kind of in one of those phases where it's like really not good to see anybody ever, though, if I'm being totally honest. It's like, you can't. Everybody gets into those phases, right, where you're like, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'm pretty happy. So when I say something like, hey, good to see everybody here today, like, good to see you guys. But generally speaking, lately, I mean, it's not really good to see anybody. I don't know what's wrong with me, and it's not a terrible thing. Like, we're going to get into a couple of things today that I'm embarrassed about. One of which I'm happy Nazem Kadri is Stanley Cup champion. Congratulations to him. The rest of the world is not. I watched a bullfighting ring collapse yesterday, and like hundreds of people plummet to the thing. I'm like, the only person I was concerned about was the bull.
You got to cheer for the animal there.
Yeah, that's totally. Always cheer for the animal. And then I went to the grocery store today, walked in, saw two ladies arguing over kumquats or something. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out because I cannot trust myself against people. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means about me today? Does it just mean like I'm fed up with people? I'm tired of people? Because I'd like to not be tired of people. People are very important. You see people every day. But generally speaking, when I say good to see you, traditionally right now in the last like 2-3 weeks, I don't mean it at all. Unless, of course, it's you guys because I know you and love you all.
Well, I would say if it was me,
yeah,
I would say that I may be suffering from alcohol withdrawal, which happens to me occasionally. But you, because you don't drink, it's a little bit more complicated.
Right.
I think that you suppress your dickness so much and so often that every once in a while the cap lets loose and you can't help yourself. So you just got to let it go. And then you'll have a little bit of room to suppress.
Like I'm suppressing my inner dick. Is that what you're saying? Where because it's not naturally me to not be aggressive or tell people how to live and all that other stuff.
And a cock. And so when you reach
you don't
a
have
certain
to fucking
point,
go extra.
Like don't make it a celebration, Locke. Fuck.
I got a theory too.
Yeah, please. I'd like to hear it.
For the last
am I turning back into me?
No, because I don't think you were that bad back then either, though. No, to the point where you are now.
He was a total cock.
I think he was able to drink that away.
Yeah.
Now all we do, and I find myself doing the same thing, Dean. You should have seen me on the drive home today. The traffic, there was a big wreck, and I was a fucking monster in the car. Ashley, the poor thing. Anyway, I think we've immersed ourselves for the last 2 years in just the assholes of society, and I think it's kind of
rubbing off,
getting into it's just getting into our psyche that everybody is one of those people, even though they probably aren't.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the Convoy today. This is Convoy week, so I'm already triggered about that. Yeah, so
I might actually go because it's Canada Day. I might just go up to Ottawa. I got some friends up there. I don't think I'm very. I don't think I'm Rob Kivlichan here at our Kivlot. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm known enough by the Flu Trucks clan to really for them to somebody to sucker me in public kind of thing, or for me to get in a tilly like halfway down, like like
Bank Street.
Yeah, outside
standing
of
in front of the Chipotle, some guy with an upside down flag. I don't believe you won't stroke him right in the fucking head.
The lieutenant's pump, like right in front of the lieutenant's pump, just dropping a Glasgow
the dick
kiss
in the pickle, right there. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
That was my old haunt at law school.
I saw somebody on the way to the Convoy in like a 1974 motorhome, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And it was that color, that beige color with the weird stripe down the middle of it. And it had all the flags and everything, and people rode on it, and it was going through Lloydminster. And it got right in front of us and was like, and blew a horn. They had like a train horn in it.
Yeah. They fixed. You know what they did? A lot of those trucks and cars, they put like air horns on their cars.
Yeah,
for the trip back, because
scared the shit out of me. They did it right
dicks.
in front of me. I think it was probably the Subaru.
Yeah,
right. The fuel efficient vehicle that I was driving pissed him off. So he,
you goddamn Japanese ride, you little rice rocket. Yeah. That is, by the way, sorry I didn't introduce everybody today. We got right to the psychopathy. That was a lot of fun. Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton is where you can find him, at Lachlan Cross on Twitter. Host of the Sheeple Shepherd podcast, Ryan Lindley from DeanBlundell.com. At Ryan Lindley is where you can see him as well. He's back this week, which is really excited. And our partner, and partner here at DeanBlundell.com and the Dean Blundell Show, Mr. Rob Kivlichan, ladies and gentlemen, R-Kiv Law, criminal defense attorney, now on board as a full-time partner, and which means two things. One, we can do whatever we want with him, whenever we want with him, and talk about his excellent legal services ad hoc. The other thing is that when we don't understand something legal, we can bring you into the mix and you can explain it to us because we're all legal idiots. Well, I'm a legal idiot. I can't speak for Lachlan, but he's a legal idiot. Ryan probably knows more than both of us. So it's just really nice to have an actual lawyer here. And like
Rob's
I said,
going to write my defense.
we robe ourselves in legal help.
I was just going to say, now when we fuck up, we got one on retainer right here.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's right.
The long con.
So let me ask you something before we get, because I want to get to gun rights, the long con, the gun rights, and I want to get to abortion rights here in Canada because Roe v. Wade got turned over last week. We touched on it briefly. The fucking weekend was a fire of, people in Canada going, "Oh my God, we can't let this happen here." And trust me, there's a very real possibility. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if they kick it back to the provinces. But I want to get into it. I don't want to get into it now, guys. Don't pre-jizz the content, okay?
All right.
It's always jizz.
Well, I am a legal expert, so everyone's sitting there watching this going, yeah, Locke isn't sure, so maybe there's a possibility it might not happen.
That's why Rob's here. Dude,
well, you're in Alberta where they were like, they're hoping that and I saw that MP Ryan reposted some of his
Vierson?
Yeah.
Vierson, yeah.
Is that guy that's never been out of Brooks, Alberta?
Yeah.
And he stares like a
slaughtering chickens.
He stares like a diddler. Like he doesn't blink. Like he doesn't blink. Like,
well, it's that old diddler stare, right? There's what is that? It's the diddler stare.
Yeah, seriously.
Can you describe him? Yes, officer. He had the diddler stare.
We know who it is.
Why do I have why does everyone have a picture in their mind?
Yeah, dude, it was
descriptive thing I have ever
got the diddler stare.
No, he just stares like he's staring at the camera. I don't think he blinks once in that video you posted. I'm like, this guy's fucking me up right now.
Yeah. Arnold Vierson was his name. He's an Alberta conservative, and as soon as Roe v. Wade came out, you saw a bunch of people, like conservatives up here didn't say a fucking word. Not a word. Nothing. They didn't say anything.
Not the diddler.
But you had a couple guys like Arnold, the old diddler eyes. He came out, this Canadian MP from strangely enough, Lachlan, Alberta, which is so weird.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's hard to imagine some neoconservative fucking douche lord from Alberta.
Rednecks in Ontario. None.
Oh, we do. Randy Hillier lives like 2 minutes from here, dude. He's the fucking biggest loser on the planet. We got him too. I like busting your balls. That's all.
Rob put that camera out his window, you'd see St. Catharines' finest too.
Oh, buddy, you have no clue. Just some absolute beauties down here.
But this guy Vierson, he puts out this thing, and he's like, "I'm really happy today. It's a great day. We're going to turn it back here in Canada too." He's wearing a conservative shirt, which fucking makes me laugh. That party's eating itself. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about any of that shit today. What I want to talk about is how, right, Robbie? How this happened. We're going to get to some Stanley Cup stuff in just a second as well, so hang on. The fun stuff's still coming. But how does this happen after 50-plus years, right? 50 years. Well, not plus. 50 years. 73 was when Roe v. Wade first went into effect. 50 years, women have had the federally protected right to go and get a D&C if they like. For 50 years, women have been given the right over their own body to treat their body as they choose. How did fucking 1973 go to 2022 and then go back to 1973, 72, 71?
Basically, what is somebody brought a challenge to a specific set of legislation, Dobbs versus it was Mississippi. It was a clinic, and they challenged the legislation that they had to make this service available. This is sort of the Coles Notes version of it, and not necessarily the subject matter of what the actual appeal itself was about. Because it was basically, as you saw, like a lot of these judges had this decision, Dobbs v. Jackson, and a lot of these judges had this decision written sitting in their desk because there's been a lot of people who've wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade, and they part of it is they overturned Roe v. Wade, which gave the federally protected right to an abortion if a woman would want.
Yeah, that federally protected right forced different states that had Republican, conservative, evangelical, freako governors and legislations that didn't want women to get abortions. That federally protected right made it absolutely necessary for that state to be able to offer a place to get a safe abortion, correct?
And they didn't have to offer it. They couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, you can have.
It was difficult in some states, right?
Oh,
Rob?
absolutely.
Like
Getting an
Texas.
abortion in Texas has always been hard. Oklahoma, you can. I mean, the states that are probably thinking about, you're probably right. Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. The Bible Belt is the Bible Belt for a reason. Kentucky, West Virginia. These are always
Missouri.
Missouri. These have always been very difficult to get an abortion in these states, and sort of Idaho. I mean, North and South Dakota. Not North Dakota, really. No, and so not them too.
Both Dakotas?
Yeah, both of them. Fuck. And so yeah, no, and so it's always been difficult to get an abortion in certain states. Now, what it did was it created a procedural argument, or a division of power through the states argument. So they said that this is a states' right issue, and that was basically how they overturned it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a decision for each individual state. You remember the Americans, you go back to the Civil War, they want small federal government, because you go back to the War for Independence, they don't want to be answering to, the big monarch, the monarchy, the big government, the big centralized government. They don't want that. There's always been this undercurrent of, we don't want a big federal government. And even though they have one of the most robust domestic spy networks in the world, and anyway, so they did it. It's a states' right issue. But then Clarence Thomas, the donkey of the fucking century, decides that, and he publishes this, and it basically says we should revisit decisions on same-sex relationships, not just same-sex marriage. Are same-sex relationships allowed? Same-sex marriage, contraception. These Supreme Court decisions mandating that these things are lawful throughout the contiguous United States. So that's what's really scary. So this, on the one hand, I'm appalled. Like his decision, Clarence Thomas's concurring decision. So it was 5-4 in favor of overturning Roe v. Wade. Okay, and so the 4 dissenters, and then the sort of your 5 hardcore conservative judges, 2 appointed by Trump, obviously. Yeah, right. Shocker there, but and so, but the thing about it is that they're now saying, or Clarence Thomas in his concurring judgment said, we need to revisit these long-held precedents, and it was reading his concurring judgment was difficult for me. It's a vomitous attack on civil liberties. It really is. It's not just, and I'm writing an article for DeanBloodell.com right now, but about this. And this is, first of all, a woman's right to her bodily integrity, whatever she chooses to do with it. That's not just a woman's rights thing. It's human rights. Okay. But now it shows what the Christian conservatives have always wanted. We need to revisit these, we need to revisit these progressive ideas, and we need to roll it back. And it's all based in like white replacement theory, all this racist rhetoric, white supremacy, a lot of it anyway. And yet Clarence Thomas is black. I mean, he didn't, like Samuel L. Jackson put out the tweet, are we revisiting interracial marriage?
Yeah, because Clarence's wife is white.
Yeah, and she's an absolute psycho.
Yeah.
She's really hot, though.
The coup bus lady. She wanted to know where to send the money for the coup
Hold
bus.
on, I'm going to Google her.
She looks like Shrek.
Oh, yeah, she's a troll, eh?
Yeah, she looks exactly like Ginny Thomas. She looks like Shrek. But just if we kind of back up a little bit. So what you're saying is which is what we're talking about, how they repeal a 50-year-old law that actually gave women equal rights.
Like a bridge troll.
Yeah, she's not an attractive lady at all. Yeah. Yeah.
She looks like she fought Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Oh my god.
Ginny Thomas is not an attractive woman, no. And she's a mean spiteful religious
She's ugly on the
biatch
inside,
too.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's ugly
she's-
both places. Yeah. But so they repeal this law that basically says, hey, listen, all 51 states, you have to be able to do this. You have to allow women access to. You cannot stop women from doing it.
Yeah.
Now they're saying no, that is no longer allowed. And this triggered a whole bunch of different states to be able to do this. Now, this is just one pillar, and I wrote an article about it at deanglendale.com. You can go and have a look at it. It's about Pierre Poilievre, but have a look because there are pillars that the evangelical Christian nationalists are going after, and this was a big one, right? To understand abortion and why it's important to this community, it's because they can hide behind it. They can hide behind the whole pro-life thing, even though it's not even technically a life. Now, you can have an opinion on it. I can have an opinion on it. When is life life? Is it at the moment of conception? Is it the second that you whip up a batch of wiener wine? Like, are we killing people by jerking off into socks? Like, is that, do you want to take it that far back? I mean, you can literally go through the process of conception and you can kind of go, well, it could be there. It could be there. It could be when the woman starts to show. It could be when it goes from zygote to a fetus. I mean, there are a million different ways you're going to. But the Bible and the Supreme Court both said this. The Bible says, I don't believe fucking a word the Bible says, but these people do. So if they believe what the Bible says, it says that life only starts when the child starts to breathe, right? The Supreme Court said the same thing. First breath, that's life. Fuck you. So to that point, and you can say it's really rude for me to be flippant, but to that point, if that is the case, and the Bible says it, and the Supreme Court said it, and you know the Supreme Court's already compromised, but if they said that, then it's not really pro-life. None of these people are pro-life. They're just kind of
about
pro-birth.
power. No,
Yeah.
it's about power.
It's
That's really all
control.
It's pro-birth, which is why it's really easy to get caught up in the argument, right? If you find, like, because I had some conversations this weekend with people who were pro-life, and they were like, and to an extent, I think by general speaking, I am also pro-life. I think all of us are pro-life. That is not pro-life. That is just pro-birth. Because if you look at the details, and they always say this devil's in the details, you look at the details. And each state that has pulled this abortion trigger law, and I'll show you in just a second, they basically have said, listen, if you get pregnant, according to rape, incest, a lot of states have said this. Texas is like, fuck you. You cannot have an abortion no matter what. Oh, but the baby's brain's growing outside the skull, and when I actually birth it, I'm just birthing a lump of meat because it'll be dead. They're like, then that's what you have to do. You cannot get an abortion, right? So effectively speaking...
insane.
Exactly. It's if you think about it, it's literally, as Lachlan said, and I think Ryan said it too, it is just about the power over a woman's uterus at that point. If you really boil it down and you go, okay, these are your arguments. It's not life till it's born. And if that's the case, then none of these things, you're making a woman give birth to a dead fetus. It's effectively a tumor at that point, right? Yeah. I mean, I hate to be rude about it, but that's the case.
It's true.
It comes down to control is really all it comes down to. All these people want to do, they want to, and so there's this notion again of this sort of white replacement theory and this sort of they're replacing our way of life and they're taking away our way of life. And one of the ways in which they were taking away our way of life is giving women the right to control over their own body. Then it's same-sex marriage, same-sex relationships, and contraception. Those are the other things that they're going after. I mean, I saw in your article, Dean, you talk about things like devalue the currency or replace the currency with Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff. And this is not okay. So there was a lot of the sort of, I saw John Moore, I think that's his name. Yeah. He's a fucking idiot, but I saw his tweet about pearl clutching. And here's the point is that the Morgentaler decision in Canada, I believe it's 1989, Supreme Court of Canada. Section 7 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms says everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of the person, and not to be deprived thereof, except in accordance with the principles of fundamental justice. What does that mean? Good question. So everyone, so those are basically three different rights, and then the analysis of when the state is going to infringe upon one of those rights is built in the wording, principles of fundamental justice. It's built into the wording of the actual right itself. And in Morgentaler, the decision the argument was the Crown argued that the security of the person of the fetus is more important than the security of the person of the mother. And the Henry Morgentaler's lawyers argued, no, the security of the person of the mother is more important than the security of the person of the fetus. And the Supreme Court of Canada sided with Morgentaler's lawyers, and they thereby automatically declaring the provision in the criminal code which criminalized abortion and abortion services of no force in effect. They didn't issue what's called a suspended declaration of invalidity, meaning, okay, you've got a year to get your shit together on this law. So we're going to, a 12-month suspended declaration of invalidity. So Parliament's got 12 months to figure this out. And then from 12 months from this date, that law is of no force in effect. They automatically struck it from the criminal code in Canada. So
it's crazy that we've been hold it. It was like 1989. Was that what you said? Morgenthaler was 89. Yeah. It's crazy that even what is that like? What are we looking at? 31 years ago.
Yep. And prior to that,
33.
If a woman wanted abortion, she had to go sit down on a panel of doctors, 3 of them, straight white men, obviously, and they would decide if she qualified to have an abortion.
Right.
That's how it was in Canada. And so, but the point is you've got so much case law and so many binding Supreme Court of Canada precedents that cite Morgenthaler, such as the Carter decision in 2015, the decision on assisted suicide. They referenced the Morgenthaler decision. That the decision in Carter was that the law was causing people with MS in particular to take their lives before they weren't able to anymore. There's evidence of people were committing suicide before they otherwise could have medically.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the law was thereby shortening people's lives. It was killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that violated an individual's security of the person. And that's why it was basically the Sue Rodriguez decision repurposed. Like Beverly McLaughlin was not the Chief Justice of Canada when the Sue Rodriguez decision came. She basically just like dusted it off and then she's like, republish it. Now it's the fucking majority. And Beverly McLaughlin, we love her. She's a badass. But, and so and they reference the Morgenthaler decision. Like, this is foundational stuff in Canadian constitutional law.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Hang on.
About and I get what John Moore was saying, even though he is a giant donkey. I get what he's saying is because, like, it's not, like, to really go after that, it would go to the Supreme Court and they'd say no. So Pierre Poilievre can take his white nationalism, his white replacement theory, and stuff it because it's not coming up here. And same with that little, the creep who was staring into the camera and really
Arnold Pearson.
I still think it's worth a conversation about where we're at right now in this country and the path we're leading, and this growing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just noticing it more. Is dumb getting louder? Do they have more platforms? But I think it's cause for concern in this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's
it is for a couple reasons. One is, we watched that white nationalist Christian dominionist movement slowly make its way up here, right?
Yeah.
We get this incredible bleed in. Evangelicals up here are just as crazy as they are down there for this shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, they are. They're willing to die for this. These people are literally willing to give their life for a lady's tumor. I am not kidding you. That's how fucked they are over this whole thing. They think it's life. It ain't. They think they're being pro-life. They're not. They're pro-hate, and they're pro-captaining someone else's life. And all they want to do is complete the task at hand, which has been going on since Roe v. Wade was turned over in 73, right?
Yeah.
Born-again Christians, like Robbie said this to me on the phone the other night. We had a long conversation about it. That evangelical community believes in this and hides behind this worldwide, right? Like absolutely around the world. And around the world, they have gotten their efforts and their resources together and poured them into the United States to have this overturned. This is a global thing. This is not a U.S. thing. You can look at what happened in the United States and you can go, oh, that will never happen here. Well, trust me, if it happened in the United States, who had that federally protected right for 20 years prior to Canadians getting that federally protected right, it can absolutely happen here. And it sits behind the dead eyes of pricks like this, Pierre Poilievre, who's a fucking born liar. This statement's weak as fuck for a reason. He put this out, and the Conservative Party of Canada, crickets about Roe v. Wade. Not a word. Zero. Nada.
Charest and Patrick Brown, I think, were the only ones that came out and said it firmly that we will. It's not an issue for us. Like this is
Right.
is settled. Like
so the rest of these guys haven't said anything, and if they have, they've parsed their words carefully. Like Pierre Poilievre, who, if you notice, put himself in the government here already.
Yeah, Pierre, a Poilievre government. Like that's cute. I mean, do you mean a conservative? No. Oh no.
It's a Poilievre government.
Yeah.
A Poilievre government, he says, will not introduce or pass any laws restricting abortion. Here's what he didn't say. Abortion is a woman's absolute and total right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what he has to say. That is what every other fucking politician who doesn't have a giant C for cocksucker on their fucking blue shirts, that's what they've all said. He hasn't said any of it. And all of them have parsed their words carefully with the exception of Leslyn Lewis, who's just an idiot.
Because again, he doesn't he's not interested in sort of the moral argument, but he probably believes in it himself, or if he believes in anything other than power. But the point is he recognizes that,
in Canada, that's not a good move.
Yeah, but he also to keep the people that are going to put him in the nomination, because I believe he's going to win the nomination for Conservative, and I kind of think I want him to. Because I don't think he can win at the federal level. I really don't think he can.
Rob, I'm worried.
How does he how does he put all the crazy back in the fucking quiver? Like, there's no way he can. There's no way he could go out there and act like a fucking legitimate white nationalist, telling everybody they're scared.
Doug Ford
and then at the end of it, he hasn't said a word in 2 years, dude. That guy just shows up for fucking Tim Hortons press conferences. He didn't say a fucking word. Anyway, he can't put it back in the box now. Is my point. It's not. There's no mass appeal to him. He's just a fucking lunatic.
I think it's more nefarious, though, Dean, than the fundamental angle that everybody's talking about. Like, obviously, they have been going after it since Roe v. Wade, but I think they've used this as, if you've noticed in the last, 15, 20 years, the church has declined, and part, like any sort of participation in the church has declined. So it literally is a recruitment effort on the business end of a church to want more babies brought in and brainwashed by their fucking parents. So they brainwash the parents into thinking this is wrong, so that they can have more babies to teach them that it's wrong. This is literally a numbers game for churches, and it's a perfect one for them because it bolsters. Again, that's why we're going to get rid of same-sex relationships down in the States, because that doesn't produce babies and more fucking brain-dead idiots. Yeah. Abortion law means more babies.
The gay men I know have no interest in.
Ashley and I know two couples in the last 2 weeks, two same-sex couples that have had their babies. One a lesbian couple and one a gay couple, and another one, Ashley's best friend, her lesbian best friends. They have a baby on the way, so they do procreate.
Yeah, I know. I was being dick. The thing that I find absolutely disgusting about this is, I mean, because the political side of it, the religious side of it, all of it is open for discussion. Like Dean said, you could sit here for the next week.
You can draw a straight line to it, though.
And yeah, you can, but I'm just saying the debate you can bring anybody with any point of view into a conversation about this, and it might sound like a conversation where nobody is agreeing, is the point I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. There's so many subtleties to this, and the thing that I think we should be very disappointed about is that this is just another. To me, it's a woman's decision. We've taken away the rights of somebody.
Yeah. End of story.
And that's
unprecedented.
If you boil it down, yeah, if you boil it down, that's what it is for me. And and if we live in a progressive time, and if we live in a world where people's rights, human rights, like Rob said, actually matter, that needs to be said out loud. And that's the disappointing thing for me, is if she decides that she wants to have an abortion, that's her decision. Totally. It's not mine. It's not the government's. It's
to the point where
churches,
dude, to the point where you don't even have an opinion on this. Like, my opinion on whether or not life is life at this point or this point, my opinion, it is fucking persona non grata. It does not matter. What I feel, and I happen to feel a woman's right to her body is her right for her body. is that a woman should be allowed to make every single decision, and taking away that decision of choice, right? Because really that's the only thing that's happened here is they've criminalized choice for a certain segment of society. They've criminalized a decision-making process that everybody else in the world seems to get but them. They've criminalized choosing in the United States. So when those podunk fucking losers show up in Ottawa this weekend for the Canada Day celebrations, the Convoy people, screaming about freedom, think about the fucking GoDaddies that you have down in the United States, right? That you want to be a part of. You want Canada to be just as free as the United States. Think about this. They just criminalized the opportunity for women to make a choice, which wouldn't have hurt anybody that wasn't getting an abortion if they left it as a choice. Every single person would have benefited from everybody shutting the fuck up, but they couldn't because they want to control a woman's uterus through the word of God. That is all this is. And it's like fucking the grossest shit I've ever seen. And I see it all the time. And then you see it in Canada where Canadians are like parsing words. Canadian politicians are choosing their words carefully. And then watching what happened with the Conservative Party this weekend, like it is going to eat itself because a guy like Pierre Poilievre has managed to harness the power of hate, harness the power of misogyny, like pure, unadulterated colonial misogyny. That is what this is. And I don't see it any other way.
No, and the U.S. Supreme Court it's unprecedented in the Supreme Court, by the way, for them to actually retract rights in the United States. This is the first time they've actually taken rights away from people that were already instilled there, and they're going to keep going. And it's just funny that it's in a country that doesn't have universal health care, so they're forcing birth on people that don't have universal health care. They don't have paid fucking maternity or paternity leave. They don't have any sort of support like any other fucking developed nation does.
No,
it's archaic. Like, this is fucking barbaric.
Did you see the list of the most livable cities in the world? Did you see the top 10?
No,
not one American city.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Where'd Toronto come in? Is it on there? Top
8th.
10? Vancouver, 2? Is Vancouver number 2?
No, Vancouver was number 6 or 5, and Calgary was number 4. Calgary beat Vancouver. But I think that because there's like a whole bunch of factors that play into it. Yeah. But this is the first time I think that 3 Canadian cities ended up in the top 10.
Easy to do when you live next to the fucking meth house.
It's also interesting too because just recently they just did a study around the world about the freest countries in the world, and I think Canada was number 5 or number 6.
Yeah, ours went up.
Yeah.
I
mean,
we did a lot of good things.
Yeah, because we're a free country, unlike the United States, right? And Rob's doing something really cool, and I want to talk about that real quick because. What's that?
So I got my the decision came out, and we all knew this was coming. Like the draft decision, some hero leaked it a month ago. They're still trying to find them. But I think there's so many people in the Supreme Court. They're just like, we're not telling because you guys all fucking suck. Yeah. So we're not telling anybody who did it. But probably a number of them did it. But so this has been on my mind for a little while. But it was when I saw it and I saw the reaction, it was the point is okay, so what do we do? Do we sit back and just talk about how shitty this is, or are we going to do something about it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like there's one or two ways you can go about this. Oh, turn off the TV. I just won't watch the news that much or whatever. You know what I mean? But this won't affect your wealthy people, your wealthy Texans, your wealthy Oklahomans. It's going to affect your poorest, most marginalized people in society. That's what these types of decisions do. They affect the people who otherwise cannot protect themselves. That's what Supreme Court litigation is for, right? Like this is not going to affect the Ivanka Trumps of the world, even though Donald Trump doesn't have any money, but whatever. But so what I started an organization. It's called Safe Abortions Canada. It's SafeAbortions.ca. And I said, it's going to be an information. It was actually a girl that you follow, Dean. She put up a video that said, if anybody wants to come to Canada and have a tour, I make an excellent tour guide.
Sam G. She's on with us on Wednesday, actually.
Yeah. And so I went, hold on a second. So there's a number of states that don't have trigger laws, basically on the coasts. If you live in the heart of the U.S., fuck you. That's basically what that decision means.
There it is.
So trigger laws, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, those are Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana,
Both
Arkansas.
Dakotas. Oh,
Yeah.
Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri. Like these are all the original gangsters of conservatism in every single one of these states. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You got 13 states where abortion, because of the lifting of the federal mandate, making it legal, it is immediately illegal. Depending on what level of illegal, it depends on the fucking state. Like in Texas, they want to fucking give women and their husbands who plan on getting abortions the electric chair. That's how seriously they're taking this. And I'm exaggerating, but you get it. And then you've got abortion being banned in certain states, likely to be banned, and then where abortion rights will be protected. And those are, like you said, heavily populated coastal areas, right? Because the closer you get to heavily populated areas, and this is going to suck if you're a farmer, the smarter people are, generally speaking. So that's why you've got a federally protected abortion rights in the states. Anyway,
and
back
North
to
Carolina
abortions.
should be green. North Carolina should be green because their governor's already come out and said we're not touching this. This is just so North Carolina should be green. But anyway,
back to Safe Abortions Canada. This is something. It's a resource thing that you're putting together.
Yes,
we're helping you do that. Ryan's helping you do that. And it's not just about here's where to go to get abortions. I mean, since you've announced the initiative, Rob, and you can follow Rob at @RKivLaw. Since you announced the initiative, you've been inundated, and it's fucking hilarious and it's really actually encouraging, to be honest with you.
It like I got emotional reading some of these emails and private messages, DMs on Twitter, and one in particular, a retired iron worker from Northern Alberta. I have a modest pension. I can commit to donating $100 a month to help cover travel and accommodation for anyone seeking to come to Canada. Wow. People living near the border. Hey, we're empty nesters. We have 2 extra bedrooms. Any young lady can come stay here. No problem. We'll pick them up. Just story upon story upon story. I've been reached out by other lawyers, professors, people saying, let's do this. There's different prongs. So one, there's going to be information about sort of within Canada, United States. If you live in the States and you want to get an abortion, resources for if you want to go to California, because that's going to stay the same. Anywhere on the West Coast, Washington State, Oregon, New York State on the East Coast, New Jersey, so Washington, like the DC area, anything in that. And so if you want to stay in the United States, or if you want to come to Canada, what the resources are and where you can get them. We have to deal with things like, passport. Maybe they don't need a passport, right? You show up at the border and you show a pregnancy test. And so we're talking to Immigration Canada about that. And, also dispensations for individual criminal record. The poorer people are, the more likely they do have a criminal record. And then there's certain crimes where you can't come to Canada. Maybe we can get a dispensation for that. We're working on that too. The point is we're putting together a resource for people to get information who live in states whereby there's going to be an abortion ban, and to get them to, areas, more enlightened parts of the world where they respect a woman's right to do whatever the fuck she wants with her body.
Can I just say something?
I'm sorry for all the swearing. It's just something that I'm pretty
passionate.
hot about this. I'm hot about
should be. You should.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just did something at the beginning of your statement here about what you want to do. What's the organization again, Rob?
Safe Abortions Canada. It'll be in SafeAbortions.ca. Because the point
at
is
SafeAbortions.ca on Twitter. At
SafeAbortions.ca on Twitter. Thank you, Ryan.
Because people are going to be getting these back alley abortions, and like it was in the 70s before Roe v. Wade, women are going to die because they can't get access to a proper abortion, medically safe procedure. And Mexico, which is an absolute dog's breakfast down there, they're saying you can come here and get an abortion too. You can basically go there and get whatever the hell you want, but you can go down there and get an abortion too. Like Mexico is saying what Mexico when it's time to look in the mirror when Mexico's going like, what the fuck?
Well, and the thing is,
with human rights,
you made an interesting point, Rob, at the beginning of this. You said, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to get mad about this, or is there something I can do to combat the stupidity? And I think the more we do that as a society, the better off we are going to be. And you're one person, you're one individual that might be making an impact on hundreds of lives. just from what you just decided to do on the weekend.
If
Right.
we, if
And-
we
and
have
I
one,
think
if
that's
we have one
important.
young lady, it's worth it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was just thinking if one kid
We
doesn't,
need to
you know,
do that more. All of us need to look at what we can do, what our contribution can be. And maybe it is as simple as getting a membership to the Conservative Party so these boneheads don't continue to win. I mean, I'm just bringing up one thing that I've been thinking about rather than go, this frickin' place, I'm not voting. Rather than do that, maybe I need to get more involved. And that jumped out at me, Rob, at the beginning of your message here. Was I was looking at this and going, okay, what am I going to do? Just sit and yell at the TV all weekend? Or can I come up with some idea here that might be a benefit to people?
channel that energy, man. Channel that energy into something. Like I have a law degree,
for you, man.
and I'm a criminal defense lawyer, and which by nature, I've always said this, you're a human rights lawyer if you're a criminal defense lawyer. I spend my life in section 7 through 14 of the charter. Okay, that's your legal rights section. And you know, that's and just this stuck in my craw, and it's like, okay, well, what can we do here? Right. And it's just literally in a weekend. And now I'm working on the articles of incorporation. We're getting not for profit status, where, you know, I've got students at the University of Ottawa common law section who are going to be doing mass amounts of research for free. Thank God, students will do shit for free. It's awesome. And
Free labor.
Yeah, right. Great. You know, like speaking of human rights, no, but they
We get pizza parties. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll buy them.
I'll send them some free T-shirts out of the shop. They'll get some free shit. Yeah.
Law students like their beer, but no, they so and they're going to be like, I want research on the states, the individual states where this is going to be, because they might criminalize it if somebody leaves.
Yeah.
Right. And then so in my appointment with Immigration Canada, what I'm going to talk about is how can we speed up the citizenship process for some young lady who's been criminalized by her home state for leaving that state.
Did you hear that?
Speed up. Like this.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
I
Like
saw
some
somebody
states
saying
are
that.
considering, this is so fucked to me. If a woman leaves Texas, let's just use Texas as the
'Cause that's gonna
bellwether
be the
because
one,
it
you know
is.
it.
Yeah. So if a woman from Texas is like, I don't want to have a kid. I'm 22. I don't want to fucking ruin my whole life. Or a woman with an ectopic pregnancy, or someone whose child is growing all
Or
weird.
got
and is
raped
like-
by her old man.
or
Yeah.
more
Or the
likely
priest.
an
I feel like happens
evangelical
in
state.
Texas.
Yes, yeah.
which-
Texas
which-
is like that happens a lot. That's called Tuesday.
Yeah.
In Texas with the evangelical. So anyway, bottom line is this:
I don't want to have Father John's baby. Maybe I'd like to find a way to get rid of it.
I don't want to be Pastor Mike's mother.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the deal, and this is the really scary part to me is the fact that they took away the right to get it. Number one, now they're going an extra step further in some states, like in Texas, where they're like, if Susie leaves and we find out, we're going to make it possible for strangers to sue her, make a citizen's arrest, and charge her with murder out of state.
Yeah.
I'm
You know
not
what?
kidding you.
You got to get out of that country. If you're listening down there, you got to move. Like,
Like
There's
they're
gotta be-
talking about this. They haven't done it yet, and maybe, you know. But then again, you've got SCOTUS, or the Supreme Court of the United States, which is they just passed this absolutely bullshit decision in Dobbs v. Jackson. So maybe they'd uphold extraterritorial criminal law. Like if you commit a crime outside of the state of Texas, that you can be charged for that. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. And Greg Abbott is an absolute clown. Like,
Yeah.
he would try that stuff. He's the governor of Texas. Everybody. This is a guy who's like, I think he was paralyzed, or somebody he knows was paralyzed. And then as soon as it was him. And then as soon as he came into office, he basically limited everyone's, and he's got a dick load of money, like for being paralyzed. And as soon as he came into office, he limited somebody's ability to collect against a corporation when they're injured and they're paralyzed. That's
Which
that's
is
what a
exactly
douche
how
this
he got
guy
his
is.
money. Yeah.
That's what a douche this guy is.
Yeah, it's America. So Safe Abortions Canada at SafeAbortions.ca. If I've got that right, it's a Twitter handle you can follow. Please share that around. Rob is the guy who is heading it up, and he's well-heeled. He's also got a bunch of really important immigration lawyers and other folks that are kind of rallying around him, some professors, just general people who are like, I can help. I got $100, or I can help. I got a free room. I live near a border town. If that's if that can help, please keep my name. And I saw so many people, like thousands and thousands of retweets of people saying, hey, listen, let's see if we can help. So this is something we're excited to be involved in. I'm excited to be involved in this for two reasons. One is because at least you're giving people an opportunity to find some answers, whether it's in Canada or the United States. Canada needs to do a better job of giving women access to these
That's
things.
another
as well,
thing
specifically
that we've
in Quebec. Yeah. So are you going to add like a Canadian portion of this as well?
Yeah,
Good.
we can't not. There's 3 abortion clinics in the province of Alberta. There's like 7 million people there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a real problem here with access, even though it's not, like it's technically accessible here. It's a matter of being able to get one, and access is a problem. And now we're going to open the floodgates. Yeah, now we're going to open the floodgates to try and help Americans. We need to beef our shit up to make sure that we can help everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's just about being.
I just
ally.
retweeted the Twitter account on mine.
Yeah, it's about being an ally, right? Like that's.
So we've got to, and that's one way that the right will restrict access to abortion. I don't want to say right, left, the crazies. We'll just say that, because I like certain aspects of me are right, are on the right side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Certain, like, there's aspects about me, right? Like I'm what they would call a red Tory. I'm socially progressive, fiscally conservative.
Yep.
Can I use that?
Because I make more money, so I want to keep more of it. I want to pay less taxes. That's a fact. When I was a poor student, I was like, NDP, fuck yeah, give me all the shit for free. Seriously. Now that I'm starting to make money, I'm like, no, I kind of want to keep this now. And so, which is, I think it's just natural.
Lawyers, huh? Lawyers
and
sharks.
I just want to look at my check and not realize that 40% of it is going somewhere, and I don't know where.
You only lost 40, huh? That's awesome.
I cry every 2 weeks when I look at mine.
No, and this is the thing, right? So it's about offering people an opportunity, both in Canada and the U.S., and saying,
good for you, Rob.
We can lie down and go, okay, this sucks, and change a channel and all that shit. But what happens now, right? Like, again, reading Clarence Thomas's concurring judgment, as I said before, it's a vomitous attack on civil liberties in general. This is all steeped in white replacement theory. This is all steeped in white supremacy, and that, this notion of the American way of life is under attack, and they're coming for us, and we need to hold the ground. Right. And they're
not even hiding it anymore. No. They're saying it out loud. Did you see the people at the Trump's rally?
Yeah, the chick that thanked Donald Trump for saving white life.
They're not even hiding it.
Her name's Mary Miller. She's a GOP congresswoman from Illinois. And as soon as the Roe v. Wade thing, Trump had a rally scheduled that night magically. And she's like, this is the greatest man in the world. Thank you, President Trump, for saving white life. And I'm like, you should have said that out loud.
Yeah,
I had to watch it 4 times to think. I'm like, there's no way she said that.
No, she totally fucking said it.
She said it.
But, and here's the thing, and it was a great tweet, and I can't remember who had it. I'd love to take credit for it. Just pass it off as mine. That's what I used to do. I might start doing it again. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But a gun in the United States has more rights than a woman at this point.
Yep.
Is that
more
not
protection?
Accurate?
Yeah, that's definitely accurate. They
Don't
away
take away our guns, but you can do whatever you want with that vagina.
Chicks.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, no, on the same day they released the ban, or they struck down the New York State law banning concealed weapons carrying.
Yeah,
in New York State. They on the same day, like,
that's
they just
real
basically,
pro-life, isn't it?
Yeah, they went after fucking everyone that Friday when they just vomited these decisions out, and they're like, oh yeah, like,
I gotta wonder how much of this is because of the January 6th insurrection trials going on, and I know these are decisions and opinions that we're making, but these guys were mad that Trump lost, and I gotta wonder if this is just a big fuck you before he goes to jail.
Totally
right?
is.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Totally. This is gonna be it's a fire sale, because I think a lot of them realize that they're in a lot of fucking trouble down there. Like, there's a lot of shit coming down the pipe. They're not walking. Everybody's thinking, well, it's the justice on the right side comes slowly and methodically. So, like, everybody's in a big rush to see this happen. Sit down, shut up, watch, eat your popcorn, and have a good time, because this is just getting better as it goes.
Can I just quickly
Like
pivot?
Trump, never mind running for re-election.
No.
Like he I don't know if he can campaign from a federal penitentiary. Like
He's
this
going
is
to
like
fucking jail.
Oh, he'll
Tomorrow. Did you
Rob,
hear
he'll
about
find
this
a way.
surprise hearing that's happening tomorrow?
this is
Did you hear about
bad.
it? This is a real deal, dude. Liz Cheney and the J6 Select Committee. Hello. By the way, Liz Cheney totally would. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for Liz Cheney.
Just that powerful.
So smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks clean.
That says
And as a
lot about you
Republican,
as
she's a fucking Republican too.
Yeah.
It really does, doesn't it?
And
I'm not impressed
Liz
by it.
Cheney
Don't
came
like.
out
I'm not
in-
proud of myself for saying
in
it.
support of
I'm
the
happy you
decision in
said it out
Dobbs. Like
loud.
she's a hardcore Republican.
Yeah,
Liz
yeah.
Cheney's a hardcore.
She is.
You know, she came out of this in support of the overturning Roe v. Wade. Like Liz Cheney and I don't see eye to eye on much. Like, and I'm sure
But
she has.
Dean
I'm
wants
sure
her to
she's
swear
really-
at her. Wants
But
her to
it's the
swear at
letter
him
of the
and
law.
tie him up on
She
the
goes
fence.
by the letter of the
Slapping you
law.
around.
So you know what? For this, it's advantageous.
Yeah.
So January 6th Select Committee. This is funny. They announced they're going to have a surprise hearing tomorrow with a special guest, and they're not telling anybody who it is. So it's going to be a fucking big one.
I
Like,
love
it's
how
gonna
they're
be
treating it
exciting.
though.
I
I
know.
love how they are treating.
Oh,
They
you're
are
going to take
treating
away
it.
a woman's right to choose. We're going to surprise you with like a death guest for Donald Trump tomorrow. Suck
They're-
it.
They're treating it like it's a primetime fucking drama, which is kind of fun. Like I
Right?
do
Well,
like the way
yeah.
that's happening.
I don't.
But it's
Speaking
got
of
some
J6,
serious consequence.
I want to quickly pivot. Rob, we got a question here from the gallery. My friend Ray Rout, who's a blogger here at DeanBlundell.com. He's got a podcast called Talking Football with Ray, Dear Pats Nation as well. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
Great podcast.
He asks,
love
he
Ray.
wants to ask you a question. Can you please ask the good lawyer about one of his brethren being brutally assaulted this weekend? Please keep Rudy in your thoughts and prayers.
he's
Now, have
okay.
you seen the attack video of Rudy Giuliani getting assorted? Have you? Were you aware of this?
I didn't.
Oh, dude,
know about
show 'em
this.
the video.
I don't even think we can put this on YouTube though. It's like gratuitous violence. We're gonna get flagged for the gratuitous violence in this video.
We might. I can't promise that we
Still
won't.
worth it.
This is really, really tough to watch.
I'll
Yeah.
answer
Man,
that.
a
letter.
39-year-old was arrested. I'm gonna play. You know
Thanks,
what? I'm gonna do
Rob.
you guys a big favor. I'm gonna play. Rob, I want your opinion on this. As a lawyer,
I don't.
Rudy
First of all, I
Giuliani.
don't know if he's a lawyer anymore because
He's not.
He's suspended in New York State.
Yep.
Is he?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Oh,
lost
Yeah,
his
he's suspended
license.
from the bar a long time ago.
You can't go around. This was like last year. You can't
Yep.
go around spouting lies as a lawyer. Shocker, I know, but you actually can't do that.
That's
like-
not true.
Like you actually can't. Like on a public level, he was saying these false statements, which are you can prove are false.
Well,
And-
everything the fucking guy said for the past 2 years was a lie. Like I'm watching the J6 election fucking hearings, and I'm dying laughing every time I watch them. Like
I
a lot of
love
people
that
are
they said
angry.
he was
I'm just
drunk.
dying
He was
laughing.
shittered.
He's so wasted. He's like, just call the election for yourself. I'm like, you must be drunk. Anyway, so this happened yesterday at a grocery store because
Trigger warning, guys. Seriously.
yeah, this is a bad attack, very bad. Rudy
I'm
Giuliani
getting
says
closer to the screen here. Let's
says
see
he
this
felt like
shit.
he was getting shot. I've compiled for you and your watching and listening pleasure, not just the video, but audio of a radio interview he did after he was brutally attacked in a near assassination attempt at a ShopRite while he was waiting for his Viagra.
Yeah.
ShopRite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he was
where
at
he
a
was. He was at a
ShopRite.
grocery store.
Where?
I want you to watch this trigger warning. If you don't like being attacked, New York. He was stumping for his son, who's running for governor of New York, who's going to lose. The kid that looks like another burn victim. It's like every single one. Trump's kids look like burn victims. This kid looks like a burn victim. It's a burn victim city in New York. Anyway, so this is a video of this incredible assault that happened yesterday. I want your opinion because he is legal brethren. Watch this.
And all of a sudden, I feel a shot on my back, like somebody shot me. I went forward, but luckily I didn't fall down. Lucky I'm a 78-year-old who's in pretty good shape, because if I wasn't, I'd have hit the ground and probably cracked my skull. And then I look
Guys, I gotta go.
I thought like you're
It's gonna
such
be
a
sick.
tease. I thought there was gonna be like a guy planting his feet and like hitting him like he's like the brown bomber and just absolutely lighting him up. That's such like he breathed on him, and then he sounded like he was crying. He went down like a soccer player.
It's a soccer
Like,
hit. Yeah,
like,
it was a soccer hit. Can you play it one more time, please?
Yeah, let me just, for all of you that
audio,
aren't
please.
watching this on YouTube, Dean Blundell Show on YouTube, you can actually see this Dean Blundell TV on Twitch if you're just listening on Apple, Google, Spotify, etc.
My guy got shot.
Oh my God, it was awful.
You see him Borat when he tried to get that, like, what he thought was a child.
Yeah, he tried to get a Hummer from like a 16-year-old. Yeah, fucking pig. Anyway, so just if you're listening and you're not watching this, someone comes up behind Rudy and lightly taps him on the back and says, "You're a scumbag." That's what he says to him in the video. Listen to how Rudy represented it on an interview an hour later, where it was deadly. It was almost
This
an
was
assassination
like
attempt.
Omaha Beach.
Yeah,
the way he's describing
Get a
it.
GoFundMe going, I'm
All
sure.
of a sudden, I feel a shot on my back, like somebody shot me.
Immediate comfort.
I went forward, but luckily I didn't fall down. Lucky I'm a 78-year-old who's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't, I'd have hit the ground and probably cracked my skull. And then I looked.
Do you remember when he was giving that press conference in Pennsylvania and he had motor oil leaking out of his lid? Yeah. And it was like that hair dye. Like,
Yeah.
His
He
Grecian
looked
Formula
good.
5 was coming down with
Yeah.
the sweat.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I was thinking about it because I was watching the video and I'm listening to his explanation of it. And I'm like, this is like a perfect example of the last 7 years in the United States. This is the perfect example of what
it's a good point.
neocons and religious zealots and extremists have been doing is absolutely misrepresenting the truth for clout.
Yeah.
That to me is the perfect, like if you said, can you explain to me the last 3 years and what the alt-right has done with information, with reality to certain groups of people? It's this, to the point where people fucking believe him without actually seeing it. And you literally, as a human being, you have to be able to see both things. You have to hear it and see it happen just to get a realistic perspective, because there are people who haven't seen this video, like the Republican Prayer Party or the Republicans for National Renewal, who put out a tweet saying this was an assassination attempt.
No way.
By a great patriot, by a great patriot by far radical leftist terrorists. Rudy Giuliani is in our prayers. Should we watch it again, ladies and gentlemen?
So all of a sudden, I feel a shot on my back, like somebody shot me. I went forward, but luckily I didn't fall down.
He's clearly never been
Lucky
shot.
I'm a 78-year-old who's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't, I'd have hit the ground and probably cracked my skull.
You'd
And
think
then
he'd be getting used to being
I
called a
look-
scumbag in public.
Well, and
Yeah,
in
like,
pretty good
it-
shape. There's another lie. I mean, this is
Yeah,
him
like-
right after it. Look at
Yeah,
him. He
and
looks like a fucking muffin that someone tied a belt around.
Yeah, like I'm in better shape than him. Like that's not, like, and I'm wearing a 3-piece to hide the boiler. Okay, like that's
It's quite the hike on the pants. I like that. I
Yeah,
can't wait to
like-
be that old that I can do that too.
It's a nightmare I have. It's
I
like
already
we're-
wear my pants like that.
Rudy's got
I
a
wore
nice
them
rack.
a long time ago.
He's got nice tits.
yeah. Rudy's
He's
got a
only
hell
like-
of a rack on him.
Yeah, he's only like 4 or 5 years older than you, Locke.
I love how he likes to
Totally
tell people he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
That's not the body shape of a man that hasn't been
Is that
drinking
what
his whole life.
he's been telling people?
Oh, yeah. He says he doesn't drink. And
Yeah,
every
he's a-
picture or video I've seen of him is him getting just fucking wasted. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Shitter.
didn't he drill like 20 drinks at the November 2nd, and then told Trump when he was all loaded that, hey, you
Should
just call the
fight
election for yourself.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a big thing. They dropped it in the hearings. They're like,
Clearly
and they dropped a collage of like his friends, like Rudy's friends, and they like a collage of one guy. Rudy was inebriated. Next guy, Rudy was drunk. Next guy,
Yeah.
Rudy came in pretty hammered.
He actually stated it right in between saying, "Let's go to Vegas and we're buying a bar, guys."
Yeah,
That's when he said that. So
Well, and the funny thing, I love the fact that he just blurted
started
it out
on
in
bar,
front of
man.
Trump, and then Trump ran with it.
our own restaurant. We're
Just tell everybody you won.
Where's
That's a great idea.
Where's the chicken? Who brought the chicken?
Hey, Ma,
You
we
won
got
the election.
chicken?
Just say it. Yeah, totally fucked. Before I let you go, we talked about guns earlier. Can you quickly, Rob, just settle it for us?
Oh God, yeah.
Are guns
so-
legally? No, hang on. Let me get through the question.
His post.
Are you legally? Do you have a legal right to own a firearm in this country?
No.
Thank you. Okay,
No.
that's all I wanted to know.
Section 5 of the
Yeah.
Firearms Act states this. It's a privilege. That's all it is. In fact, there's a catch-all at the end of Section 5. If for any reason that basically Her Majesty deems appropriate, they can deny you a license to carry a firearm. You not even carry. You can't carry it. You have to get a license. You have to have a license to own it. And there's certain stipulations on owning that. It has to be, the ammunition has to be in a separate safe from the actual firearm. There has to be a trigger lock on the firearm at all times, unless you're at a range. You have to have a license to transport it. Like this whole, it's a right to own a firearm. It's actually like a right is a constitutional term. It's a term of art, and it's very specific, has very specific meaning in Canada and the U.S. And in the U.S., the right to bear arms is a right. That's fine. I think that's asinine, but it's still a right. Okay? That's fine. In Canada, it's a privilege. There's nothing in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. There's nothing in binding Supreme Court of Canada jurisprudence. There is nothing which state. In fact, the Supreme Court's been very clear about this. Owning a gun is a privilege, not a right. We're not a gun-toting country. We're not a gun-owning country. I put out an article on deanblundell.com, and then some guy commented on Twitter. He's like, after the article, he's like, owning a gun in Canada is a right. And then I responded, well, I guess remedial English class it is for you. Like,
you should have given him your card because he's going to need it one day.
Well, you are going to hear from Ronald.
Yeah,
from Brooks, Alberta.
Like, you can't. It's not a right in Canada. Okay, it's a privilege, and you can apply for a gun license, and you can be denied if you've ever been in a mental institution. If you should which is half of the religious right, but and if you have a criminal record for violence, if you've even had a peace bond, which isn't even a criminal record, but a peace bond is Section 810 of the Criminal Code. Say you're charged with something, a way to resolve it. You sign this peace bond that says, I didn't do anything, I'm not admitting to anything, but I'll just stay away from this person for 12 years. You're not getting a firearm.
Do you think any of these rules and regulations that we have that differ from our neighbors to the south may actually benefit us as far as gun violence goes in this country, Rob?
Absolutely. Like in Canada, we're always patting ourselves on the back and saying we're not like Americans. Actually, we're starting to see a lot of similarities between Canada and the U.S. in some very concerning ways, particularly the susceptibility to certain parts of the population to populist politics of fear-based ideas. This sort of, you need me to protect you from them, whoever they
Go
are.
read PP's Twitter.
Yeah, create an other and then exploit it.
Nailed it. You nailed it. Everything on Pierre Poilievre's Locke nailed it. You nailed it. Ryan nails it all the time. I'm just riding sidecar. But as a decent observation,
Politics of fear. It's an old playbook.
It is all about fear. Everything
It doesn't say anything positive.
Playbook.
It's all about, listen, we're going down a hellhole.
And he's the only guy that can save you.
But he
He's the
doesn't
only
give
guy with rope.
there's no constructive.
Nothing.
Nothing. There's no actual plan. There's no promises. There's nothing you can hang his hat on.
From them and that. And that
Yeah,
them and that changes. Do you remember it was like, you need me to get you your crypto, bros? And all of a sudden, crypto tanks, and they're like, it's probably multi-level marketing. It's probably
By the way,
a scheme.
It's bouncing
and he's
back
like, I'm not talking about
I
that.
sold mine, which makes total sense.
It won't for long. But he pivots to new fears, and he speaks to those fears, and he tells those people what they should be afraid of, and he makes it up as he goes along. And here's what you did, Rob. You talked about the fear of people not being allowed to get abortion, how Canadians can't access abortions as well as they should, and you instead of bitching about it, instead of telling everybody to be afraid of Pierre, instead of telling everybody be afraid
Don't
of
be
this,
afraid
you
of that
should be
little
afraid.
fucking wiener. I'd show you not to be afraid of him. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Give me 2
me
minutes
too.
with him in a room.
Yeah, me too. I
Sorry,
want to
I
watch.
shouldn't say that publicly, but like,
just gonna
don't be afraid
Counselor.
of that little wiener.
No, he's not.
My
He's an
lawyer has
absolute
told
fucking
me
wiener.
countless times not to say things like that on podcasts and my radio show.
Dude, him doing it gives us the license to have it on this show, and we don't have to deal with the flotsam and jetsam from it. It's the best.
There's no logic in his rhetoric. There's none. It's just fear-based statements.
Yeah.
Not why is
And he's
this
the savior.
happening? Not what do we need to
He's
do
the
about
Trump of Canada.
Yeah.
That's all Trump does. That his entire campaign was. And
Yeah,
he's
you're
doing
on, man.
exactly the same thing in Canada.
We're on a
Because he
2-year
has
delay.
glasses and he
That's
uses
all it
hair
is.
gel. Everyone thinks it's different. It's not.
Yep.
It's
He's
the
a poor
same
man's
thing.
Donald Trump. He's a poor man's Donald Trump. And that's
Dollar
the worst
store
thing I
Donald
could
Trump?
say.
Yeah, Donald Store Donnie.
Oh, that's
Dollar
going on the
store
website.
Donald
Put
Trump.
that in the merch.
Dollar
Put
store
that in the
Donnie.
merch.
Dude,
That-
That's a
I
Sure.
think we I think we just changed the course of Canadian history calling Pierre Maguire the dollar store Donnie.
Dollar store Donnie. I
He's
like
a
it.
born fucking liar. He thinks he's slicker than he is. He has
Yeah.
the command of the English language of a fucking baboon. All he talks about is hate. All he talks about is fear. All he talks about is being the chosen one, and paints himself out as that. But he's only got $8 million in the bank. That is dollar store Donald Trump.
He's only got $8
Boom.
million in the bank in terms
That's
of
it.
his campaign.
No,
No,
just his net
personal
worth
wealth.
is about 8-9 million. Yeah. As a
What-
government
what is
employee, that's easily to amass, isn't it? It's no big
What
deal.
does he do, or what's or is it? Or
He's
did-
been
oh,
a
is
government
he-
employee his whole life. Yeah.
Oh, so he's a trust fund
Real
baby.
estate.
No, he is and he isn't. There's rumors that his dad isn't really his dad. He was adopted when he was 16, and then we get back into the Klondike Papers. I'm not willing to go there today.
Real
Yeah,
estate.
that's-
Real
I've seen
estate,
this.
isn't it?
I'm staying off that
Didn't
one,
he-
Diener.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, boys. Listen,
Dollar
it's been
Store
real.
Donnie.
Another article coming up, but listen, get involved. Safe Abortions Canada. You can help out in a million different ways. I'm starting to see it. It's awesome. Reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
At Archive
Thanks,
Law,
guys.
SafeAbortions.ca. At SafeAbortions.ca. Thanks, Robbie.
Cheers,
Talk to you
guys.
soon.
Rob, are you still going to
Ciao,
help me
Rob.
out to fight my photo radar tickets?
No, he's a different province.
Sure.
No,
Uh,
you're not.
Just
No,
don't.
he's not.
Just don't admit to engaging in obstruction of justice on the air. That'd be great.
Yeah. He did that last week. And then so we're in the middle of the show, and you're railing where these photo radar places are, and I get a text in the middle of the show, and it's Robbie, and he's like, "Just so you know, that's obstruction of justice. You guys can't do that." I'm like, well, let him go anyway.
Yeah, let him talk himself into another ticket, if not a
What he
criminal
said
charge.
here was nothing. You should have heard his radio show.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Our kivlaw.ca. Kivlaw.ca is where you can find my friend Rob. He's a top criminal defense lawyer here in the city of Toronto.
Great with photo radar. Great at
excellent.
fighting photo radar.
Oh, Jesus.
gotta put that in there.
If you want to get your life back and you need a criminal defense lawyer, you need legal help. He does a ton of different stuff, everything from civil claims to wrongful arrest, Securities Act offenses, civil litigation, white-collar crime.
I like that you
Rob-
just slipped in violent offenses.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
you could be
Well,
caught
we'll
up
throw that
a
in. Just
victim
slip
or
it
a
in at the
perpetrator. Anything. If you need a criminal lawyer, if you need someone to hold your hand, you need someone to walk you through this. It's a fucking scary business, that legal world. And Rob's really good, really, really good. But he's also a solutions guy, and he wants to make people feel good about taking charge of their life. So thanks, Rob. I really appreciate you being here.
You guys are
brother.
the best. Love you, boys. Be well, and
Love you
don't
too, pal.
just
Take care,
don't
Rob.
admit to anything incriminating on the air, please and thank
Don't
you.
worry, we won't. We won't.
Yes,
He's
sir.
also our lawyer. Oh, by the way, and here's the thing: is that if you are suing us, at Archive Law on Twitter, send it there first.
Yeah, my address for service, 386 St. Paul Street.
Okay,
there you
thanks,
go.
buddy. 386 St. Paul Street in
Serve that
Niagara.
way.
Thanks, buddy. There you go, Rob Kiv at Archive Law. No, I'm being serious. If you plan on suing us, kivlaw.ca.
Anytime anybody threatens to sue me, I just go, I have no money. I am so in debt. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't own anything.
Good luck.
I have no money. I am so in debt.
That's why I love giving money to the bums on the streets. Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? Like, why? I am fucking $500,000 in debt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave my kids nothing.
And
And
some
you
guy
want
on the
what? You want
streets like,
you want
can I have
$5?
can you give me $1 for a muffin? And you're like, I've got a fucking mortgage, man.
That's
And
what
then
I
you give him
say.
$1.
It's a really heartfelt guy right there. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche winning last night's Stanley Cup. First championship for them in like 21
guessed
years.
I think everybody
It was
did.
fucking great, dude. And no harm, no foul, right? Edmonton gets punted in 4 straight. That was a good fucking hockey team. They manhandled Tampa Bay. If it wasn't for Vasilevsky, it would have been 4-1,
Well,
maybe 4 straight. Who knows?
I'd like to see the Toronto-centric broadcast outlet that goes on and talks about how the Edmonton Oilers lost to the Colorado Avalanche. No, we got to hear about the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs losing in the first round to the Tampa Bay Lightning and then making the Stanley Cup Finals. Didn't see that there, the score. You dicks.
Didn't see
Or
that.
Where's that article today?
They're not touching that article today. It's all about Colorado. I want to say a couple things. That Cale Makar kid, 20 years old, Norris Trophy, Conn Smythe, Stanley Cup champion. It doesn't get any better. I think he should quit. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is congratulations to guys like Cogliano and a couple of other dudes that have been working hard, and they finally did it. I also want to point out that Nazem Kadri might have been the hit of the night. Nazem Kadri and Nate MacKinnon. Like, I watched the entire hockey game, and what I enjoyed the most was watching Nazem Kadri and Nate MacKinnon in their post-game press conferences. If you remember, Nazem Kadri a couple of years ago was a Toronto Maple Leaf, and he was traded for Alex Kerfoot. Poor Alex Kerfoot today. No one's talked about him either. Not one word. What about Alex Kerfoot? No one cares about Alex Kerfoot. So he gets traded. He gets booted from the playoffs last year because, I don't know, 3-4 years in a row, Nazem Kadri liked to take guys' heads off and get match suspensions for like 5 games in the middle of the playoffs. So he finally wins a cup last night, wins it with a broken thumb, and his post-game
Which he had
comments,
surgery on, too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
In the
Dude.
Oilers, Kane took him out about 10 feet away from the boards.
Yeah, and
He
stood over him
the
like
boards, broke
that was
his
fun.
hand, had to get surgery, and ends up playing in the last 3 games. Come
Mhm.
on.
Yeah,
How do you
dude,
not like that kid for
he
that?
couldn't even
For
tie
that.
his skates. He had to get trainers to tie his skates, and then he would go out and play. But his
That was
post-game
pre-injury too,
presser, oh yeah, it was incredible. I want you to watch this, where Nazem Kadri gets the fucking last laugh on this beautiful city in its absolutely toxic sports environment. Watch this.
Of course, Toronto, etc. What do you want to say to all those fans out there that stuck with you and wanted to see you have this moment?
I love you guys. I love you guys. That's all there is to be said. I mean, I've had supporters in my corner from day one, never wavered. And, for everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs, you can kiss my ass.
Attaboy.
Hey, I have a question. I don't know much about him, but all I know is that he was the agitator on the ice.
Yeah.
And that I heard through the grapevine.
Would have come
he
in handy.
Likes the ganja.
Did, yes.
But is he a good kid?
Great guy. Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Party with him twice, I think. Once, if I remember. Once I don't remember partying with him, but apparently he was there. I was like, oh. And the other time I remember partying, we went to the Jay-Z show with a couple of guys, and he was there. We were all in the same suite having a great time. And he's a fucking great guy. Just a great guy. Really,
you never
really
heard
nice.
any sort of like moral character wrongs from him either.
No.
He seems like a pretty good dude.
But I will say this, is that I don't know if you can suck and blow at the same time and still win, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Where he's like, have anything you want to say to the city of Toronto? He's like, I love everybody. And then in his mind, you can see it going, right? Where he's like, I don't really love everybody.
His
There's
eyes
couple
were
people
doing
I
that
fucking
thing.
hate. So, you know what? I changed my mind. You guys can fucking kiss my
Of
ass.
course, Toronto, etc. What do you want to say to all those fans out there that stuck with you and wanted
Like, what do you want to say to all those fans out there? He's like, yeah, I love you. And then he's like, actually,
I didn't notice that. You
to see
can
you
totally.
have this moment?
I
Watch.
love you guys. I love you guys.
There it is.
That's all there is to be said.
Right here.
I've had supporters in my corner from day one, never wavered. And, for everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs, you can kiss my ass.
Can we talk about liability though? Corey Perry needs to just retire. So,
Dude, he just signed with Colorado today.
Oh my goodness, look at this dude. Oh, buddy.
He just signed with Colorado today.
Oh,
He's lost
gets
3
traded
Stanley
every
Cups in
year.
a row.
goes to the Stanley Cup final every year for 3 years and loses every year. It's the best story of this playoff run, without question.
And it look he wears it on his fucking face too, eh? Like it gets
He
worse
looks
and
like
worse.
He lost.
Yep.
There's a video going
who
around of
did-
Corey
who-
Perry walking off the ice when he was in. I think he was wearing a green uniform. Did he play in Minnesota for like 5 minutes? I can't remember. He's wearing a green uniform and like there goes Corey Perry going to sign with this year's Stanley Cup champion again. He already won one, so I don't feel too bad. But fuck, it was
He
funny.
won years ago, right?
Yeah.
He's been
Yeah.
chasing it ever
Anaheim.
since. And if Corey Perry ends up in your dressing room this year,
Yeah.
this coming year,
Run.
Yeah.
Phone your agent right away.
Yeah.
Go anywhere. Because
Run.
I would rather not make the playoffs than get to the end and lose again.
Dude, I read USA Today, the front page of the sports section, and no word of a lie. This was the he was the first story in the sports section. Corey Perry lost his third straight Stanley Cup final, and NHL fans roasted the league's most notorious villain. I'm like, yeah, they did. And then the next thing I see is, oh, there's Corey Perry in a Colorado Avalanche jersey. That's the best.
Well, whoever did that's brilliant. Yeah, I wish I would have thought of putting him in a Colorado jersey. On Twitter.
Poor guy.
This one,
I don't
like
feel
if
sorry
you
for
said
him at
what's
all.
your favorite
He's getting
Photoshops?
his karma for something.
It's you don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it's true, but I'm leaning on that.
Oh, dude, fans hate the guy. Unless you're on his team, and then they fucking love him because he's like an older version of Nazem Kadri, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, funny. Yeah. I don't know what picture, like my favorite Photoshop picture of the last month and a half. I don't know if it's Corey Perry in an Avs jersey or if it's Dick Pierre.
That's a tie.
That's better.
I can't decide.
You know what? It's at the wrong angle. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so much going on there.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. Oh. Like if there was an award for a meme, that
the best Photoshop meme.
Honestly, I would be voting for that. I don't think we're gonna get a better meme this year.
No.
Has anybody responded to the request for the uncircumcised shadow of Pierre Poilievre?
Strangely enough,
I will say this. I got some DMs.
Did you?
Where some hooded dicks have been used. One was a statue, a couple of other like awful pictures. Mm-hmm. So I thank you. I thank you for thinking.
But not many.
Me.
Not many.
In the comment section.
Most of the dick effigies. Most of the dick effigies are like circumcised dick effigies. I'm pretty sure.
It's hard. They had to dig for the hooded.
Yeah,
cock.
Of course they did.
So I appreciate the effort.
So again, a lot of things happened last night for the Avalanche. Joe Sakic, Stanley Cup champion, this time as the general manager. That was kind of nice.
That's cool. A good story, too.
Mm-hmm. One of the neat parts of the story is Nate MacKinnon, right? You can talk about Landeskog all you like, tenured captain, one of the greatest characters in the league. But Nate MacKinnon's a really fucking good hockey player. Always second fiddle to Nate, to Sid, but they're both from Cole Harbor. They train together in the summer. I know guys that train with them. Their beauties are like best friends. Always have been.
Great season too. Like go back and look at his numbers. That was the other thing, right? Like people weren't talking about Nate like they were McDavid and Matthews, and he was right there, man. Like he had some fucking numbers to support the success they had, right?
Yeah.
And again, I keep going back to the reason why these guys, I think, get next level is because they play the game, they're there for a while, and they start to figure out, I can't do this all on my own. I have to adjust my game. I have to figure out how to bring the rest of this fucking team along here. And Nate did that. I saw signs of McDavid doing it this last year. These players they think differently. They handle the game differently, and you cannot win. You can win different sports by yourself as a superstar. In hockey, in Canada, you're not doing that. You got to bring the rest of the fucking team along. And if you go back and you watch what did Sakic do with the cup the first time he won it?
Gave it to Ray Bourque.
Yeah. Handed it to Ray Bourque right away. He didn't have it for 2 seconds. He grabbed it from Bettman, like, why are you holding this? Give this to me. And
no
he
Bettman
right
last
over
night,
to
too, by the
Bourque.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Bettman last night. It was like a wonderful evening. Everybody had a nice evening. I didn't see that little fucking weasel on the ice.
No talk about that. What happened? Bettman.
He's got COVID.
Everybody
he's got COVID.
Oh, there's
just like the prime minister. Every time something weird's happening, he's got COVID.
Oh, he's got COVID. Strange. COVID again. He's got COVID.
I use the same excuse. I get COVID like 3 times a month. It's great.
I had it twice last week.
I can't go. I got COVID.
Anyway, back to Nate MacKinnon. You can take the kid out of Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. You cannot take Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia out of the kid. This is his interview after the game with Kyle Bukauskas. He does a great job, actually. Watch this.
You mentioned the people you love. You've been a guest at a couple of Stanley Cup parties back home in Cole Harbour. What's it going to be like to host one?
Well, he better be coming. I've been the drunkest guy at 2 of his, so he better be drunk at mine. But it's cool. I have my name engraved on the cup with 87, my idol, and ever play this game. So
this is what I love about this guy. And if you know him, these guys train with Brad Marchand and Sidney Crosby and a couple of other guys that have been playing in the NHL that are from that. This is how they are. This is what they do. They go downtown, they rage, they get drunk, they have a good time. But you will never, ever get anything different out of Nate MacKinnon. He loves to get plastered to have a good time.
Come back.
He's
for a
all
kitchen party
business.
after.
Yeah, but this fucking made me laugh harder than the Kadri kiss my ass bit.
well, he better be coming. I've been the drunkest guy at 2 of his, so he better be drunk at mine.
I just want to stand.
I love the honesty.
No
You
kidding.
know what? And that's why I love this sport, because these stupid kids get this. They get tons of money, and they never just shake being a dumb kid.
Yep.
Right?
It's great.
They
What are
just
you
were
doing,
really
Nate? You
good
just
at
won the
stick
Stanley Cup. I'm going to get fucking hammered because the last time I was at a Stanley Cup party, I was fucking hammered. I was the drunkest guy there twice, and it wasn't even my fucking party. So he'll be the fucking drunkest guy at my party. No, but you just won the Stanley Cup. Oh, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it was cool too. But I can't wait. This Friday.
His brain goes to like, I am going to get so fucking hammered.
And you know what's funny too is that it also seeps its way into other countries too. Like Ovechkin with the cup was brilliant. Like that whole summer was all just party stories with Ovechkin shirtless in a different part of the world. That guy partied with that guy. I think he just took it and said, I've got this for the summer. You guys can get it back in August.
Yeah, he did. And he took it to
Yeah,
Russia,
wasn't he the
and
one
he
that
didn't come back for like 2 months.
Didn't he bring it to? I think he brought it to Howard Stern and forgot the cup at the studio. Left it there, and somebody had to come from the NHL and be like, "Oh, sorry, we left this here."
Because he was too wasted when he was on Stern. He was like, "Fuck it."
They dented the cup out of the gates last night too.
Yeah.
I guess that's the first time that's ever happened on the ice.
Yeah, see it? Look at that. Shit.
Yeah, look at Nate's face too. Look at it. Holy fuck, you wrecked the trophy, bud. We only just got it. You fucking dented it.
They interviewed the cup custodian though, and the cup custodian was saying that he thinks it's the first time it happened on the ice. But there's like 2 or 3 cups. The original sacred one is not the one you see on tour. That one stays away. There is,
but they do have to fix it during the tour every year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much every year they gotta. Yeah, it's falling out of it. It's falling out of cars. It's like every. Yeah.
Dude,
isn't there a story about the band, heavy metal band, not
Metallica?
Slayer,
Metallica,
Pantera? Isn't there a Pantera Stanley Cup?
Yes.
What am I? Why is that?
I'll look it up.
There's a story about one of the guys is a hockey player is a huge Pantera fan and ended up partying with Pantera, and they did something to the cup.
Yeah, Vinnie Paul dented the cup in 1999. The drummer. It was the 99 NHL Stanley Cup champion Dallas Stars. He had them over at his Texas home following their win against the Buffalo Sabres.
Texas.
Yeah, and he apparently dented the cup at his house.
Yeah.
Doing something with it. Yeah.
Oh, then lots of guys dented it. Lots. It's been wrecked like 100 times.
Not content to be fans with the team earlier that season, Paul and his brother Dimebag Darrell decamped the studio to compose a goal song for the Stars called "Puck Off." They were huge fans.
Yeah,
Puck Off.
Puck off, everybody. Dimebag's dead too, isn't he?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I knew a security guy that was with him when he was shot. Yeah,
I didn't know that. This whole show just took a real dark turn.
yeah, it was weird. Yeah, no, that's another story for another day. We'll save that one.
I think he died around.
That's evergreen content.
Or he died around Lennon, like the anniversary of Lennon's death, or there's a connection there because every year on a, I'm on a classic rock station more than a new rock station, and not a lot of stations play Cowboys to Hell from Pantera, but every year you get the one or two dudes that phone up and go, "What's with the fucking John Lennon? Fucking Dimebag died this." I can get that every year or two. It's like, all right, I'll get fucking some Pantera on right away here.
Yeah, let me get to it.
Right out of
that's what everybody loves at 7:00
a.m.
a.m. Yeah. Cuts like a knife into Pantera. That's a great biz music decision. You would do it too, just to
I'd put a splitter in there.
All
right?
good.
Just to break it up a little bit. A little shotgun splitter.
Real quick, I saw a video today I wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was very interesting. It is an older gentleman. You guys heard about airdropping? You guys airdrop stuff from time to time? You airdroppers?
Yeah, we do it a lot.
I've never been able to make it work, but it's on my phone.
Tech wizard Lachlan Cross doesn't know how to airdrop.
I fucking hate it.
I know you do. It's just a new thing, and so you don't want to look at it.
Well, fuck me sideways.
Airdrop City. There's an old guy that was on a flight from Tampa to New York. And Tampa to Colorado as part of the. You'll see someone in a Avalanche jersey.
Oh, nice.
Tampa to Colorado. This old guy thought it'd be a great idea to airdrop a picture of his dick to everyone on the plane.
Oh, just everyone.
Yeah.
Tell me you have the pic.
Oh, I've got the video.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the pic of his dick. I'm not putting, dude. The second we put this whole guy's dick, I have the picture. I'm not putting it up. I'm not blurring it. I'm not good at blurring. I'm not a blurrer. I don't know how to blur. Don't. I can't Photoshop.
Just airdrop it to Lachlan.
I'm not a blur guy. Anyway,
is it hooded? Was it hooded?
No, I don't. Probably there was probably some schmegma. It probably looked like it smelled weird. But I want you to watch because the guy's like
hook on it.
The guy he gets approached. I want you to watch for this. He gets approached by the stewardess, and she's like, "It's disgusting. Did you just send dick pics to everybody?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like,
"Sure did."
Why? That's sexual assault. And he's like, "Oop, sorry about that. Didn't know." It's a wild exchange.
Meet Larry, who just airdropped a whole flight photos of his pee-pee. Thankfully, I accepted it, saw who was sending it, and immediately started speaking up. Stay tuned for the police escort.
So there she is. She's like,
oop, just having a little fun.
I'm sorry.
It's sexual harassment. It is plainly disgusting. It is assault.
Meet Larry.
My apologies.
Hey, Larry.
My apologies.
Hey, hold on.
Like
if you get a question, can you do that by accident? Like that's what I'm worried about now. I'm going to get rid of my phone.
I was just trying to have some fun.
Yeah,
he actually admitted it.
She's like, "Did you send a picture? Did you hear the exchange?" She's like, "Did you send a picture of your dick to every single person on this plane with an iPhone?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was just having some fun." She's like, "You can't do that. You cannot do that, sir. A lot of people on this flight just got a picture of your steaming pile of junk." And he's like, "My bad." And then the woman next to him who was recording it, she's like, "Dude, that's sexual harassment." And you know what he says? He's like, "Hey, my fault.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just trying to have some fun. Sorry about that. Sorry, everybody. Can I buy a round of peanuts? Make up for this.
Guys, my bad. What do you say we just relax and watch what's on the movie screen?
Headphones are on me. Who doesn't have headphones?
Hey,
hit me up.
At what point in the day, I still don't know how to airdrop, so maybe I'll be okay.
You'll be fine. How many dick pics do you have on your phone?
At what point, though?
Mostly balls.
At what point would you... Oh, I would make sure I highlight them. And they would be doing something weird, like covering a salad bowl or something.
Yeah. Keeping the flies
He'd
off.
be using them to open up a jar of pickles.
Yeah.
Just get that
grip. If you're looking for a gripper,
yeah,
you got one hanging right there, gentlemen.
What's your question?
I was just going to ask about the legitimacy of being able to say that was a mistake. You kind of have to do this on purpose. It wasn't like he accidentally did it.
No, it takes a few steps to actually airdrop something.
Okay, so that's not the defense when he's being handcuffed.
No,
at the gate.
It's not like I was just rubbing my phone and I magically airdropped a picture of my dick.
Well, that's what I was worried about.
You have to, if you've airdropped something, it's like
I've got some
you go to
horrible
airdrop
shit on my phone.
You go to airdrop,
select the file.
and then you select the file, and it's like, are you sure you want to airdrop it to this person? And you're like, yes. And it's like, are you positive? It checks like 3 times. It checks, like, making sure you're, hey, if this is, I think it even like a little prompt comes up. It's like, make sure this isn't a picture of your cock, because that's not going to go over well.
Yeah, Apple. That was in the last Apple update. Actually, they put that little disclaimer in. Yep.
Is this a dick pic? Yes. No. Would you like to delete? Yes. No. Like, it's super fucking hard to do. And you know that because you don't do it. I don't airdrop a lot either because same thing. I'm just used to like texting people and stuff like that. Plus, I've got no dick pics to share with people on a plane. But in his right mind, like, that guy's on a flight. He's got money. Like, he's clearly got a job or something. He's wearing a nice golf shirt. He's wearing, dude. That's a human being that has made it into this world, probably has a mortgage, probably pays his taxes. And in his mind, in that moment, he's like, I got an idea.
Send.
Let's hit send on this dick pic to everyone on
this. This is going to be fucking hilarious.
2 women with children grabbed the iPads out of their kids' hands, the devices out of their kids' hands, because they saw that this thing had been airdropped, because there's a little notification comes up. Thankfully, an airline person was like, no children saw the dick. And all the things were taken away from the kids. But at least 30 passengers opened up their phone to see, there's Brian. Who's Brian? Some guy.
No, it was Larry.
Whoa,
I hate to,
Larry.
Lawrence. I hate to correct you, but it was Larry.
Whoa, Larry makes it even better, though. That's a name of somebody that airdrops dick pics to strangers. Larry. Leisure suit.
Where we'll see somebody and we'll like come up with what they're like. The guy has a bot.
Yeah.
If you're playing, Larry's gonna sit down and send his picture of his dick to everyone.
This guy doesn't look like he'd be a dick pic guy either, though. To me,
no, I totally saw it.
Do you? Like, look at him. He doesn't look like a dick pic guy to me. No, he's got glasses on. He looks like a guy that loves to mow his lawn. Maybe have mojitos on the weekend.
Disgusting.
Big fan of Taco Tuesday.
What happened to Larry? Yeah. A lot of people are asking, do we know what happened to Larry? Did he get arrested?
Larry landed in Colorado, was immediately picked up by several police officers, and he spent the night I believe in the local prison. And FBI were alerted to what he did, and they contacted the police, and then as soon as he landed, they're like, hey, dick pic guy.
Here's a
story,
rule.
but you got to go to jail. You can't flash your dick to everybody on the plane. You can't
for
do
everybody. You can't get away with anything on a plane anymore. Just
no.
Sit there, have a couple of drinks, not too many, because they don't fuck around on planes anymore. Like, you do anything, you're getting arrested.
Yes, especially
like
that.
People forgot about 9/11 and the way that changed the airline industry entirely when it comes to fucking
There's
around
no
on a
sense
plane.
of humor with planes. Not
you
that
can't
Larry
even
did something funny here, but
you can't even jerk off on a plane anymore.
Well,
there's just no more fun to be had.
No, it's out the door. I mean, they take it seriously now. It's 9/11. In the words of Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover, thanks a lot, Bin Laden.
Yeah, thanks.
We can't even masturbate freely or airdrop pics of our dicks on a flight anymore. That is terrible.
Bradley Cooper was like, when that scene was happening in Hangover, he goes, I'm pretty sure that was always illegal. No, not really. Yeah, no, it was.
My favorite is when you see the videos of people getting duct taped to their seat in planes now.
Yeah.
Because they have to, it's like an international flight, so there's going to be a while till they get a cop. Yeah. And there's no like air marshal on the plane. So they actually just duct tape them to their seat and duct tape their face and shit. It's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, me too. I like it too. It's called street justice. I'm a huge fucking fan of it, actually.
Like when the police have to cut you out of the seat to arrest you. Yeah. That's my favorite plane.
Yeah, you know you've done something wrong.
Yeah. We went to Jamaica a couple years ago, and there was a guy on there with the worst BO I've ever heard. I've smelled in my life.
That should be illegal too.
And they actually, in the middle of the flight, they were handing out masks to the people that sat around him. And this was before the mask thing. They were literally handing him that, and they were doing it right in front of him. And the one stewardess was like, "We're going to make sure you are on a list so you can't buy tickets because the problem was he was on the flight down. And then on the way back, he didn't clean up. No one said anything on the way down. On the way back, they had him, and they probably had someone on the plane that knew that he was there before. And we were all talking about him on the way down and on the way back. I'm like, oh shit, there's the smelly dude. And it was rank, man. It was I've never seen anything like it. It was so bad. The guy just reeked.
You get put on a federal no-fly list.
That they did.
It's amazing.
We were told by the travel agency.
You smelled too bad to fly?
Dude, you have no idea. I can't explain it. It was so
beyond
bad.
BO.
Yeah, you could smell him when he was walking by you in the weight room. And he was belligerent back to the people on the plane, and
was it like literal onion BO, or was it like undercarriage / onion / like bad hair / smokes?
It was
open sores,
just bad, rotten BO, like good. Rotten, like just oozing out of them.
What's more offensive, sitting next to that, or sitting next to the guy that keeps sending you pictures of his dink?
At least you can.
I'd rather sit next to the dick pic guy. Yeah, I really would. Like, and I know the dick pic guy's going to jail, but the other guy to me is more offensive. It's like an assault on the nose when you have to sit next to me. And to make sure, like, you get around some people. Like, I was in the grocery store the other day, and I'm walking behind this lady, and I'm waiting for the eggs, and she stops, and I'm like, my God, the hum on this person was like, it was so terrible. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I think I said it a little too loud.
I've done that.
And
not meaning to.
She turned around like this.
Yeah. Larry's also colors, my guess.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Well, I don't. He's going to have to tell a fucking great one to get out of this.
He'd be a good neighbor on the plane, I think. You're right.
Speaking of
look
stories,
the person, hey, watch what I do. Check this out. Ready?
Yeah, watch this.
You shouldn't do that, Larry.
Everyone got my dick. Everybody. Speaking of storytelling, what little people don't know is that Locke had 2 days off last week because he had to go somewhere. So we took a couple days off because we never take days off, which was glorious. I really enjoyed it, actually. But probably not as much as you, because Lachlan went to the very first, I think it is your first, camping wedding. Is that correct?
I don't think I've ever been on a camping wedding. No, my co-host Grant Johnson got married to Michaela.
Congratulations.
And they got married in Saskabush on a little farm in the middle of fucking nowhere. And we all went out and camped and partied and witnessed the kid getting married.
That's awesome.
So it's it was nice. It was good. We were all waiting for like a Grant moment. There was a couple. We don't need to get into that, but it was fun. It's fun.
Before we get to the details, or sorry, a couple of stories, because I know you have a couple. Camping wedding. Explain it to me. Is everyone camping? Is the wedding in the campsite? Is there a buffet? Is it potluck? Is it catered? That kind of stuff. Where's people? Are you standing? Are you just sitting in your Tivas, your shorts, drinking beer? Were people dressed up? Like, what is a camping wedding compared to what we would normally call?
I wouldn't have known either. But this camping wedding was a venue that's part of a farm. So they had like a farm-like building where they had, and it's outdoor reception with chairs. There was a barn, table, and they had behind the venue area where they had a kitchen and everything like that. And they do this. They rent it out, and almost every weekend of the summer they're booked with different events. A lot of weddings, I guess. And this is a thing. Maybe it's more of a prairie thing, but whatever. I've never been to one. This is the first one I've ever been.
We have them in the wineries here.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. It's different. It's cool, and it's something that I would have expected from Grant and Michaela, if I'm being honest. It didn't seem out of the ordinary when they told us that was what they were doing. The problem with Grant and Michaela, and God love them, they're in an age group where none of them have grown up, right? They're all in their 30s. They own homes. They have careers. Some of them even have kids, but they don't plan. Like they're like my wife and I, like we had lists and we packed a trailer and we could cook a meal and we could keep ourselves warm, and we brought stuff for different levels of this group. That was the thing that blew me away. They literally throw an overnight bag into the Toyota and head into the prairies, right? Like, and then they show up and go, what am I going to sleep on? Right? Idiots. Yeah. So that was the bizarre thing, to watch all these people that didn't plan.
So your issue with this camping wedding wasn't that you were camping 6 hours from your house on a weekend.
No.
And the wedding was outside. Your issue was, if I'm getting this correct, your issue was that these people didn't pack and prepare properly?
A lot of people that I work with and that I know and that are in that friends group, I'm on the outside looking in, are all around they're millennials. And they're morons. I'll say it.
Yeah, but you took I love you so much.
Offense.
You're an old man. Like, to go, you know what the worst part of the weekend for me? You haven't seen these people are unprepared.
Well, because
these people are not prepared to camp at all. And that drove me fucking crazy.
Jimmy drives me nuts. But I didn't think the entire fucking wedding party was going to be Jimmy. Like, Jimmy grabs a kitchen catcher from underneath the sink, throws a bed sheet and a pillow in it, and goes, all right, is someone bringing beer? And he heads out. He never plans it. And I honestly, I'm not upset about it. I wish I could live like that, because for some reason it always works out. There's always somebody around that takes care of these morons. And I wish I could be that person. I've never been that person. I've always taken care of myself. And when you see it, when you witness it firsthand, and when you witness the sheer volume of it, like the numbers, you're like, you can't help but go. The running joke was, because our buddy Army Chris ended up taking half of these morons to the campground in his truck, because he was the one with the hitch. So he was hauling their trailers too. Every hour for like the last day before this thing happened, his phone was ringing. Oh, we're going to need a generator. Oh, we're going to need. So we just started texting him things that the group needed. Right?
We're going to need ice. We're going to need 12 dildos.
Can you bring firewood? Can you bring something to light? So-and-so forgot his shoes. And then we'd say size 6.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was getting so mad because he ended up becoming the dad. Army Chris, the drunkest man in Canada, ended up becoming the chaperone for this fucking weekend.
The drunkest man in Canada. It's funny because it's true.
Yes.
Yeah, he rose to the occasion. He's like, I'm not going to get 12 deep. I'm going to go and take care of these kids because they don't know what they're doing, right? I just find it hilarious that you didn't take offense to spending your weekend.
They're in their 30s.
Hang on.
They've got kids. They've got jobs. They've got cars.
Compared
they've got mortgages.
Kids, dude, you're a generation older than them.
I was never like that, is the point I'm making. In my 20s, we used to do shit like this, and we would prepare. We would go to concerts. We'd go to festivals. We'd take food with us. We would take drinks. We would take things like sunscreen.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just millennials. I just
raincoat.
think it's the people that you were with maybe weren't great planners. Because I know a lot of millennials who are really good planners. These people were just not great planners.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a Western Canada millennial thing.
I think it's an Alberta.
Because there was about 40 of them, all sharing a brain.
Were you the oldest? Were you and Chris the oldest guys there? Was it annoying? Like, were they annoyingly drunk at some points?
No, I joined them in that.
Yeah,
that's never an issue. I'm not going to let people outdrink me.
No.
Oh, I got to tell you a story too, because we got into it on Saturday, and I woke up on Sunday, and we all had shared facilities, and so I was having a little bit of a chuckle when I was in there, because I'm like, anybody who comes in here is I had a dump, and pure evil came out of me.
Pure concentrated evil came out of the back end of you.
There was a moment I was standing over it, looking down at that toilet, and I was like, I need to leave it.
Yeah, somebody else needs to see this.
I didn't because I was trying to be a reasonably responsible individual, but but you should have. I can't even explain the smell. It was so vile. I am sure they had to revarnish the wood. There is some Saskatchewan woman named Sarah repainting that bathroom because of me.
What came out of me was pure evil.
I didn't shit all day Saturday, so Sunday was, I was like, all right.
And camping dumps, like if you, listen,
God.
if you haven't had a camping dump, like where it's like you've drank and you've eaten, and like everybody breaks out the chips at like 2:00 in the morning, and you're still doing shots, and you get up and you have bacon, you might have beans that day, but you're running around and drinking, and and then by Sunday you have an ass full of shit, and that shit is just a collection of toxins that you've been shoving in yourself unaccountably for the last 3 days. And by the time you get to Sunday, there's a pain that comes with it where you're like, I just want to shit myself at this point. Like, I don't even care anymore.
The relief
and
was
you're
glorious.
Mindful, if you're a pooper too, you like pooping? If you're mindful, that's like a feeling that you look forward to as well, because you know the evacuation process is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. And if you go to a campground that has like that shared showers and the shitters in the same room,
ding.
That's that humidity mixed on Sunday morning with everybody's fucking showers with those dumps, because there's everybody in the campgrounds having those dumps on Sunday. You don't go near that bathroom on Sunday. You can't.
And I drank whiskey. I drank red wine. I drank a whole bunch of beers. It was
just a cauldron.
It had a tinge of, like, I'm trying to think of the word to describe it. So on top of it, it burnt
acidic
coming out.
Acidic.
So there was an acidity to it, yes. And black as night from the red wine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are rye shits. That's the rye shits right there. Oh, I feel.
And
so
you know,
bad.
the hotter those are, they're like farts, right? Dumps are like farts. If the hotter they are, the more egregious the smell.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Not even making it up. I don't even know what the science is. I want to know the science behind hot farts and hot dumps, because I'm like, what's the hot? Why the hot? Why does the hot always smell? The hot always
If you
smells.
heat up a normal dump, it would smell the same way. So maybe it's just a temperature thing. I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Ugh.
Did you have to go to the washroom in an outhouse? Was there an outhouse there? Was that the deal?
No, it was like a
flush toilet.
There was. It was one of the. There
The only
wasn't
thing
a lot
worse
of
than
water.
a camping dump is the smell of 4,000 of them down like a 12-foot hole.
It wasn't an
outhouse.
outhouse. Thank
the
God.
worst. That's like
They
if
would
you
have
want.
to.
If you said to me, Dean, I'm going to shoot you in the head, or you got to spend an hour in an outhouse, I'm like, fucking shoot me. I can't do it. I gag. The smell. It's like everything that's wrong with everything to me. It's like if you want like a trigger smell, that's like I cannot go. Even when you walk by them. I've walked by outhouses at baseball tournaments, like the little Jiffy Johns or whatever they call them, Porta Johns, where it's like you think someone may have done an appendectomy in there. Where you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, now you understand the importance of
close.
aqua dumps. Now, do you understand the importance of an aqua dump?
Yeah, the aqua dump comes in super
You're never
handy.
going to convince me that it's the right thing to do. Shit in a lake. I'm
You
not.
never
I'm
have to
not,
go near
I'm not
one of
on
those.
board with the aqua dumps.
All right.
Yeah.
James knows why the poops are hot, actually. The more the enzymes have to work, the hotter it is, the worse it is. I don't believe him.
For a guy that doesn't like to talk about poop, he sure knows a lot about poop.
Sure chimed in on the shit jokes, eh? Way to go. Yeah. Apparently he's changed. Anyway. Thanks, boys. It was fun.
That's a good one.
Emil has a little fart tip for us. The fart is always 37 degrees. The environment temperature helps or hurts with the spread. I'm sure there are scientific papers on similar issues.
Yeah, that's that humidity thing I was talking about when it just hangs in the air. Like you were saying about like little Jimmy when he has those concentrated fucking bombs.
Yeah. What?
And they just stick to your clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, stop shitting in the lake.
No,
Jen,
you're wrong.
You clearly haven't taken an aqua dump yet. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you do, you're going to be saying, quote, please keep shitting in the lake because it's the best.
No. Yeah. If I would have did what I did on Sunday in a body of water, they would have had to have done some sort of like
dredging?
Honestly, they would have had to bring in some sort of nuclear waste crew.
A company?
Yeah.
A company that deals with hazardous waste?
Yes. Like there would have
guy.
been hazmat suits and like planes flying overboard. It would have been like a scene from Stranger Things.
I'm in the upside down.
All the authorities. I don't know who to call, but there's got to be a government agency. I would never have done that to the ducks. I'm sorry.
Aqua Dump, where it's at. Thanks, boys. That is Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. He's where you can find him. Thanks, at Lachlan Cross on Twitter. Lindley is in all week. Yeah, dude, were you jelly? Were you jelly?
Oh, huge. You guys had such fire shows last week, and I was fucking stuck in my office watching. And normally I can, like, when I was working from home, I could, like, sneak it in and, like, log in and, like, jump in. When I'm at the office, there's too many fucking people walking around, and they're what are you doing? Yeah,
too many fucking people.
Too many fucking
Look
people.
at all those fucking people.
I hate this. I hate it.
You know, I like people a little more after doing this show. You know how I started the show, and I'm like, I hate everybody. Remember that? It's like, fuck, for some reason, I hate you today. Not you guys, but you out there. I don't
There's
hate
been
everybody
days
as much
where
as
you've told us at the beginning of the show that you're not particularly fond of us.
Yeah.
When was that? Okay. When have I said that
yelled
once?
At us a few times.
Yeah,
I've never yelled.
Times.
Yeah. You should hear what he says in the pre-show, folks. It's pretty fucking egregious
the green room.
Sometimes.
The green room.
Yeah. It's egregious.
Try and get it together. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. All right, boys.
Thanks, guys. Ryan Lindley, Sheeple Shepherd podcast. Download his podcast as well. At Ryan Lindley on Twitter. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Thanks for joining us. You got it. Ryan Lindley, everybody. Ba-do-ba-do-ba-do-do. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, you can sign up for our newsletter at DeanBlundell.com. You can also check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dean Blundell Show YouTube. And you can go to Twitch. Well, you can go to Twitter, too. We'll get to that in a second. Twitch. Twitch. Dean Blundell TV on Twitch. Changes are coming soon. Never soon enough for me. I love change. Thanks to our friends over at Easy Auto Financial for making this possible. Easy Auto Financial, helping you get in a vehicle. Oh, how's your credit? They don't care. They're awesome at it. Like, they're unbelievable at getting credit. Like, people that have tough credit, this is your go-to. They don't make you feel bad. They just go, hey, fuck, let's get you a car. That's what they do. They're ninjas. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. They take care of all the guesswork, too. It's like super turnkey. Sign up. They'll get you your financing. We'll make you pay for it. Send you to go get the car you need at the place you want to get it. They take care of everything. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. No obligation. Our friend at Ed's Fine Imports, edsfineimports.com. You can find Ed at edsfineimports.com. He makes great Gitch, Gitch. Gitch3 is your promo code. And if you want to look better with 15% off, all you got to do is deanblundell.com or edsfineimports.com. Get 15%. 15%. And have a look at the deals he's got, because he's got like daily deals, daily passwords, daily deals, daily promo codes. edsfineimports.com. Not just the Gitch, although I am bullish on the Gitch. Try to give them to everybody. Everybody I can. It's like I'm a Gitch evangelist. Canadian made too. edsfineimports.com. And of course, Kivlaw. Looking for a lawyer? Need one? Want one? Don't have one? Thinking of getting one? You're like, God, I could really use a lawyer because I'm in trouble. Kivlaw Defense Lawyers, kivlaw.ca. Go there today. Ask for Rob. He was on the program with us. He's doing a great thing for safe abortions in Canada as well. Guy's like community-minded, and he's like the most calm dude. If you're in trouble, you got a problem, get legal help 24/7. Need a criminal defense attorney. You want to get your life back. If you've got some issues and you don't know who to turn to, this guy's incredible. His entire team is incredible. Kivlaw.ca. Defense Lawyers. Go there today. And read his latest. Fuck, it's great having a guy like him around. Read his latest at deanblundell.com. It's about the gun laws. Like definitive legal proof you do not have a right to own a gun here in the country of Canada. Sorry, never did. And if you thought you did, no offense, but that means you're dumb. Anyway. Have a great day, everybody. Really appreciate you being here today. Don't forget to sign up for a newsletter at deanblundell.com. And I'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Surprise guest. Can't tell you who it is because I haven't confirmed yet, but it's going to happen, so I won't tell you. And then on Wednesday, we have Sam G. from the Where's My Trophy Participation Trophy podcast. Very, very funny. Her and her partner, Dana, Trophy Wives. Remember her? She's going to be joining us on Wednesday. We're really excited to have her on. Then we're going to blow out the rest of the week. Can't tell you because I don't really know yet. Either or, hang around, have a great time, drink some 7-Up, chew some gum. Let's all enjoy ourselves today. Thanks all. Really appreciate you being here. Don't forget again, sign up for our newsletter. Not just our newsletter, but you can also, if you can, give us a follow on Twitter. D Blundell Show, Dean Blundell TV is where you can find us as well. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.